See, I'm adding a few more people in here. Happy New Year, everyone. If you could please, as always, leave your name and affiliation into the chat. And Michelle, whenever you're ready, I think we can get started.
All right. Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I believe this is our first meeting of 2024. I hope everyone had a restful break and some great time off. We're looking forward to just continuing onward and moving forward with our work. We are in tune for a great presentation today from the Department of Energy's Office of Technology Transition. And before we get to that, I will pass it to our Executive Director, Matt Bogosian, for some updates. So Matt, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Michelle, from the Century Foundation. Thank you, another BFF from around the country. Appreciate your leadership and all the teamwork. Good morning. This is then Happy New Year, of course. This is our first national AMCC call for 2024. Same time every non-holiday Monday, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central, 9:30 Mountain, and 8:30 Pacific. So, as I've said before, this is one of the two consistent weekly activities, that we have, checking in with regional leaders and BFFs from federal agencies, NGOs, private players, all focused on strengthening American manufacturing from the bottom up. A lot of folks have been on this call for a long time. A lot of new folks coming on, which is great. It's great to see new people because this is a big American project. We want to lift from the bottom up, strengthening our manufacturing ecosystems. Today we have a conversation with DOE's Office of Technology Transition. So we're psyched about new BFFs there, and they have a couple of programs that we can talk about. But before we do that, as those that have been around for a while know, I like to highlight the other kind of weekly consistent thing we do is the AMCC update that goes out, so that you can be reminded to go back, look at that, help it inform your work. Three things I just wanted to hit very quickly. One is this National Academies of Science report that came out calling for establishing a national effort to advance smart manufacturing. This thing's like 100 pages long, so we're just like diving into it. But we need to crosswalk it with the work that we're all learning, with the White House Sue Helper and Don Uford came on and talked about and it's at the bottom of our AMCC update. We have the 4-year national advanced manufacturing strategy, right? How does this call, compare to that and the other national strategies that are out there? So anyway, that's, I think, super interesting. We all need to be rowing in the same direction, top down, bottom up, middle out, the whole thing. So that's one. Second thing in the AMCC update is, by one of our longtime BFFs at Brookings, who I did a podcast interview with. So you'll be hearing that pretty soon. But Mark put out with one of his colleagues a good paper about the transformative potential of the CHIPS and Science Act. As you know, advancing national workforce and STEM education goals. So that's a good read, I think, really consistent with what we're learning as an evidence-based approach to bottom-up sustainable development. And then the third thing I wanted to highlight from the AMCC update is our BFF, Mike Russo. He came on in an earlier call, but talking about NIIT's semiconductor and advanced manufacturing technician apprenticeship program. So you heard about it. There's a recording on our website when Mike went through that. But that's a free thing. This is in partnership with the Department of Labor, so you can tap into that and learn more there. So those are the three things I wanted to highlight from the AMCC update. And today, as I said, we're going to have this national call. We're going to talk about Department of Energy. These things, the call and the update. We're working to make them go hand in hand for our conversation and best practices, to doing this complex work. We have a lot of work to do. You just flip on the news or the newspaper or whatever. It's just we're in the midst of this, industrial next industrial revolution, massive social and economic change. A lot of indicators are showing we're making good progress. So that's good. But it's like I was in the Navy for a while. It's like turning an aircraft carrier. It takes persistence and teamwork and energy to turn the ship. So we're starting to get our arms around kind of interventions that can lead to more predictive outcomes. Based on evidence-based tools and tactics or whatnot. But we have a lot of work to do, and we're fortunate because we have a bunch of new federal interventions that public and private leaders and regions can take and kind of weave into regionally relevant activities and into the initiatives they have going on already, or new ones that they ought to have. So it's great that we have Becca here from the Office of Technology Transitions from DOE. So let me turn it over to you, Becca, and we can hear from you guys about two very cool interventions in terms of transitioning our energy economy. Oh, we can't hear you, Becca. Not yet.
Can you hear me now?
Sweet.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. I guess
Good.
there's always one every meeting, right?
Totally.
So, hi everybody. I'm Becca Simkowitz. I'm a commercialization program manager at the Department of Energy's Office of Technology Transitions. I'm also joined by my colleague Matt O'Brien. So we're going to tell you about two of our programs today, but I'm going to hand it over to Matt just to kick us off.
Good morning, everyone. And Matt, David, thank you so much for the opportunity. So we're from the DOE Office of Technology Transitions. Our office stewards commercialization across the Department of Energy, and our mission is to expand the commercial impact of the research investments of the department and to drive private sector uptake of clean energy technologies. So this morning we'll talk a little bit about a couple of programs that allow us to do this. The first one is the Energy Program for Innovation Clusters, or EPIC. And EPIC is an annual $5 million program that was created in 2020 to support technology incubators, build and grow regional innovation clusters and resources to increase the success of energy entrepreneurs and startups. And so helping innovation clusters grow increases local business productivity, improves commercial success of startups, and really drives the pace of regional innovation. EPIC is really designed as a flexible and scalable platform that makes it easy for other DOE program offices and agency partners to support energy technology incubators. And the goals of EPIC are threefold: to increase local business productivity, improve commercial success of startups, and drive the pace of regional innovation. You can see on this slide the program stats on the right through fiscal year 2023, where we've supported more than 60 incubators. We've awarded more than $15.5 million and provided support to regional clusters in over 30 states. More information about this program at energy.gov /OTT and EPIC. I can drop this in the chat so that it's a little bit easier to get to, so you don't have to type in that long URL. If you go to the next slide, please, Becca. The latest version of EPIC launched in September of 2023, and what we're calling EPIC Round 3 is kind of our new approach to this program. It's a prize to cooperative agreement model, meaning that up to 20 winners will receive $150,000 to create programming to support energy startups and entrepreneurs. Those 20 winners will then have 6 months to implement programming, and it can create a continuation plan for what they would do with additional funding. And then after that phase 2, up to 6 incubators, accelerators may be selected to receive a cooperative agreement for up to $1 million for up to 3 years in order to scale their programs. This program is eligible to incubators and accelerator organizations that aid in the development of new business ventures, or really any organization that self-identifies as an advocate for innovation and entrepreneurship. So right now, the submissions for this program are open through February 9th, and you can read more about the program and submit applications at herox.com/epic round 3. And with that, I will pass it over to Becca.
Hey, Matt, can I jump in there real quick?
Sure.
If you could put your email and whatever other links into the chat, that's always a good reminder. February 9th is the deadline, and this is and it's I'm looking at your sheet here. It's 20 up to 20 folks will get $150,000 to get to the next step for a potential cooperative agreement. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah. So the first phase is run like a prize. So up to 20 winners could receive $150,000 in cash prize, and then from there, as we move to phase 2, we would do a down select from those 20 winners and select really 3 finalists that could move on to a $1 million 3-year cooperative agreement.
Great. And you know, there's people using the chat, which is great. I see Dan Sweeney put in there something about the Make It. That's great. And Lisa put some other stuff. So on this topic or other topics, use the chat. Just wanted to remind folks to do that. Put your identifying information in there too. It's good for everyone else to learn and build the trust that we're going to need to really turn this aircraft carrier. So go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you, Matt and Becca. Go for it.
No, appreciate it. I'll drop some helpful links in the chat. Thanks so much.
Yeah. You're silent again there, Becca. Yeah.
How about now?
You're back.
Okay, good. I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry. Anyway, so I also will, once I'm done screen sharing, I can drop a bunch of things in the chat. But so I'm here to talk to you about another program that's being run through the Office of Technology Transitions at DOE. This is the Manufacture of Advanced Key Energy Infrastructure Technologies, or Make It Prize, which is looking to catalyze domestic manufacturing to enable replication and commercial liftoff of clean energy demonstration projects. So we're hoping to do this through 2 different approaches that are operating through 2 interlinked but quite different competitive tracks. So we're hoping to move manufacturing facilities for critical clean energy technology components from planning to the point of being shovel ready, as well as to enable communities to prepare strategies for vibrant manufacturing activity. So we're offering about $30 million in prizes across each of these 2 tracks. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. But I do want to note that this is funded by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law through the Technology Commercialization Fund. And OTT has worked very closely with partners at the Office of Clean Energy Demonstrations and Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy at the Department of Energy to develop and launch this prize. Okay, here we go. All right, so first I'll talk briefly about the facilities track. So the facilities track aims to incentivize the necessary work to move manufacturing facilities from planning to the point of being shovel ready for construction. So the competitors here are really teams, entities that have sort of experience in domestic manufacturing and technology to build manufacturing facilities for eligible clean energy technology components. We are especially interested in trying to revitalize shuttered facilities, brownfield development, and repurposing existing facilities. So I don't have these listed here, but the specific clean energy technology components are related to clean hydrogen, long duration storage, electric grid upgrades, and carbon capture recycling, recycling. So the prize is structured into first a statement of intent, which really determines your eligibility to compete. So, are you planning to manufacture an eligible component? Those whose statement of intent is deemed eligible are able to then move on to phase 1, where up to about 12 winners will receive approximately $500,000 each. And then at phase 2, at which point you're trying to prove that you are shovel ready for construction, will award up to 4 winners $4.5 million each. So then a little bit more about the strategies track. So the strategies track is aiming to build interest and engagement around manufacturing clean energy technology and expand the potential for more clean energy jobs and economic opportunity. This is aimed at teams working to develop a roadmap, so some type of strategic plan that can help establish clean energy manufacturing in their region, and they can win up to $400,000 in cash prizes across all phases of the prize. So for this prize, we're really looking for folks that are looking to promote domestic manufacturing in their regions, promote economic opportunity, and improve quality of life along with that. So there's 3 phases. At the first phase, there will be approximately 30 winners of $50,000 each, approximately 20 winners of $100,000 each at the second phase, and approximately 8 winners of $250,000 each at the third phase. And we are running each of these 2 tracks twice, so there are 2 opportunities to join. So going a little bit more into the strategies track engage submission. So these are the components that would be involved in that. I want to flag that the deadline for submission to this is February 15th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But at a high level, the goal here is that teams should submit a brief description of their team as well as their plan for developing this roadmap. So I bet right now you're saying, I need to know more. And fortunately, we have great opportunities for you to do that coming up tomorrow afternoon. We have informational webinars for each of our tracks. For facilities, that's tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, and for strategies, that's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and I can pop these links into the chat. I do want to note, so the final opportunity to submit to the statement of intent for the facilities track is February 1st, and the final opportunity to submit a phase 1 submission for strategies is February 15th. And we've got links here that have, lots of information about each of the tracks, as well as previous webinars if you're not able to make that tomorrow, questions and answers that people have asked over the past several months, as well as the official rules documents for both tracks, which are, tell you everything you need to know about the prize and how to submit as well. And these are where you can join the prize. And I think that's the end of my slides. So I will stop sharing at this point, but I'll drop all of that information in for you.
Oh, that's great, Becca. Thank you very much. So if you have a question, raise your hand or put it into chat. You guys are new BFFs, Becca and Matt, so it's great to have this DOE office actively engaged in AMCC, and I mean, it's hard enough to come up with these new programs and execute them. But just a reminder, we want to try to be rowing in the same direction with all of our federal agencies and BFFs. And I don't know if you're noticing on the call, but we have representatives on this call and in the AMCC, larger community from other manufacturing related interventions from the federal government, from DOD, HEWAT's on the call. We've got Department of Labor, Department of Treasury, Department of Commerce, EPA, all of these folks are working, trying to work consistently with the 4-year advanced manufacturing strategy for the nation and other national strategies. So to the extent that you find opportunities to engage with your other agency colleagues in your work, we're always encouraging you to do that, so that on the ground, right, regional leaders can weave these things in, and it makes more sense on that front. So let's see.
We have a question from Sarah Lee, Matt.
Oh, please, Sarah, go for it. Yeah.
I probably just missed this, but what kind of folks are eligible to apply when you say regions?
You're talking about the strategies thing for the Make It?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So it's pretty broad eligibility. Certainly, I'll pop this in the chat, but take a look at our full rules documents. But I think sort of ideal competitors are sort of people who are looking to promote domestic manufacturing in their regions. So it could be nonprofits, academic institutions, other kind of potentially for-profits that are looking to do this type of thing. So hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, that one in particular, Sarah. So thanks for calling that one out. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer for folks, on this call to socialize in their networks, and begs the question on the other part, right? When they come across manufacturers and say, "Well, I'm going to need some bigger money," right? That second one on the facilities really speaks to that. I guess open question here: Has anyone participated? Because you're in round 3, right, Matt, on the Epic one.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, right. So I'm wondering if anyone on this call right now has any experience with the Epic one and could provide Matt some feedback on previous rounds. Okay, Matt. Well, this is part of our job here, is right to get the word out.
And if you follow the link that I put in the chat for Epic Round 3 on Hero X, there's the full rules that you can read there. And I mentioned eligibility for this program is really any organization that self-identifies as advocates for innovation and entrepreneurship. So really strongly encourage everyone on the call to check this out.
So this is a good point, Matt, because AMCC has been doing these roadshows for the last year, and there's a lot of people here that have co-created these roadshows with us, where we try to weave together all of the regionally relevant partners to include federal agency interventions and BFFs there. And on a lot of these roadshow visits past, and I suspect those coming up, we get tours of incubators. That's one of the things that communities like to raise up and highlight and say, look, this is where we have innovation happening. So it's exciting to see you guys putting some investments into, engendering more of these innovation hubs, because it really meets what we are finding out is the best evidence for a thriving regional manufacturing sector is to have innovation locations. That's one of our big 6 pillars of a thriving regional manufacturing ecosystem. If you had an existing innovation, is this just for new ones, or can you expand a hub with this Epic?
Yeah, so the specific call for Epic is for new programming or expansion of existing programming.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, there is opportunity if you have existing programs. Definitely just want to push folks to read the full eligibility requirements and the full rules, but there's definitely opportunity if there's an existing incubator accelerator that's already doing great things in a community. This program is still applicable. if you can figure out some type of new effort, new programming, or expand upon that programming to hit the goals of the EPIC program.
From yours, where you sit, Matt, how would you describe the kind of the burden of the application process?
So we're really looking for, in phase one, we're looking for folks to do that groundwork in reaching out to potential partners, understanding what it's going to take to set up new programming or expand existing program offerings. There's definitely, you know, a little bit of lift in what's required, but I don't think it's that cumbersome, really. I think we're trying to find out really what it's going to take. Have you put the thought into what those hurdles are going to be with expanding innovation and supporting energy startups in your community? Have you identified the right partners? Have you thought about what scaling the program looks like, even at an early stage? And that way we have a better understanding of what your plans are with the funding. And so that's really what the submission process is trying to tease out.
Can you send us, Matt, or point us where there is the contacts for the previous round winners? Because that seems to me like a great universe of folks with whom we could get in contact with to help those that might want to apply going forward, right? That's one of the benefits of the AMCC community, is not only regional leaders helping their own regional network, but also sharing best practices from one region to another. And is that possible?
Absolutely. So let me share a link to EPIC Round 2. And then also I'll share a couple of announcements that OTT has made that has more information about those selected incubators.
That's awesome. It's so great to see so many stakeholders here. Larry Horn from Newport News Shipyard, one of the many dynamic leaders we met on that road show tour down there. It's great. I get to see a lot of Washington and Colorado or California stakeholders. Yeah, all across the country. It's great. We have a couple of minutes left. I want to thank Matt and Becca from DOE OTT. We invite you and your colleagues to be on these Monday calls consistently, like our other federal agency BFFs. Consider us a touch point for your work, and we have feedback loops here that can add mutual value. Great information. Thanks, Sarah Lee, for pointing that out. And let me, just a couple of minutes left here. Does anybody have anything super hot that they want to share for the good of the order? James, good to see you from down in Texas. Looking forward to getting down there on a road show as we are with our friends in Alabama and Wisconsin, and so it's a long list. It's going to be a good year, folks. You guys are inspiring, and being systems leaders is a tricky thing, because you got to get out of your silo. This is not moonlighting, right? This is the kind of collective impact that we've got to really kind of build into our work, and we try to do it as efficiently as possible with these 2 weekly consistent, very, very short in duration activities. But we're always happy to expand them and with your partnership. So thanks in advance for that going forward in 2024. Anything else? David, you see anything else?
No, I think we're good to go today, Matt.
All right, great. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you.